This video is about Kaguya breaks free from the lunar palace until the moon goddess reclaims her. If this myth excites you, please like the video, share it with friends, and write in the comments how it pulled you into the adventure. Kaguya breaks free from the lunar palace. Part 1 In the realm where the heavens kissed the earth, the moon shone brighter than all the stars in the tapestry of night. The celestial domain of Tsukuyomi, the moon goddess, was a palace of silver light, perched high above the world, tethered to it by threads of fate. Within its alabaster walls lived Kaguya, a spirit born of moonlight and stardust, destined to be a luminous beacon of hope or a harbinger of despair. For centuries, Kaguya had resided in this ethereal prison, an existence woven with the threads of isolation. The moon goddess, Tsukuyomi, had taken her under her wing after Kaguya's emergence from the shining bamboo grove. Yet, her kindness masked the darker truth, a curse eternally binding Kaguya to the lunar realm, where she was both cherished and confined. Each night, as Kaguya gazed down at the earth, she was haunted by visions of the lives led below, of warriors battling for honor, of women crying for lost loves, of children laughing under the warm embrace of the sun. Her heart ached to taste the sweetness of freedom and feel the pulse of life, but the moon goddess's watchful eye was upon her. One fateful night, her longing ignited a spark of rebellion. The moon, swollen and ripe, loomed heavy in the sky as Kaguya whispered to the silver rays that radiated from her celestial prison. "Though distant lands, grant me passage, let me roam the earth, a fleeting shadow among mortals." The winds howled in reply, swirling about her as if the very cosmos conspired with her yearning. Thus, Kaguya hatched a plan, inviting the spirits of the night to aid her in her bid for freedom. The will-o'-the-wisps, flickering like lost souls, swirled round her, their light dancing with excitement. They whispered secrets of the moon goddess's vulnerabilities, of lunar eclipses that could sever her ties to the ethereal realm. As Kaguya prepared for her escape, the air crackled with tension. She knew the risk. Should Tsukuyomi discover her intent, the consequences would be dire. The moon goddess was not one to be trifled with. Her wrath was as cold as the stillness of night and as fierce as the storms that lashed the earth. Yet Kaguya's heart surged with courage. "I will not be a prisoner of my fate," she declared fiercely. "Tonight I will break free." The night deepened, and the moon reached its zenith, casting long shadows across the palace. Kaguya donned a cloak spun from the very essence of moonlight, shimmering and ethereal. As she stepped onto the balcony overlooking the vast expanse of the well below, she felt the pull of destiny in her veins. Summoning her courage, Kaguya extended her arms, and the will-o'-the-wisps converged, forming a swirling vortex around her. The light brightened, illuminating the darkness as she took a leap of faith. She jumped into the void, feeling the rush of freedom as she descended toward the earth, her laughter echoing through the night. But as Kaguya fell, the moon goddess stirred in her slumber, awoken by the tremors of rebellion. Tsukuyomi's silver eyes flickered open, radiating fury. "Foolish child," she thundered, her voice echoing through the corridors of the lunar palace. "You would betray my gift of sanctuary?" A pulse of energy surged through the realm, and Tsukuyomi's essence reached out, seeking to snare Kaguya in its ethereal grasp. But Kaguya was swift, twisting mid-air as she channeled the will-o'-the-wisp's magic, a surge of light propelling her faster toward the earth's embrace. The ground rushed up to meet her, and Kaguya landed gracefully upon a forest floor. The trees stood tall, their branches creaking in the night wind, welcoming the newly freed spirit. The scent of earth and life filled her lungs as she reveled in the sensation. Yet she knew the goddess would not let her escape easily. With a fierce determination, Kaguya dashed into the depths of the forest, her heart pounding like a war drum. The whispers of the will-o'-the-wisps guided her, illuminating the path ahead. Each step was a dance of newfound freedom, yet each breath was laced with the weight of impending doom. Tsukuyomi would come. Meanwhile, in the palace of the moon, Tsukuyomi's rage boiled. "You dare defy me, Kaguya, you who I saved from the darkness." Her voice resonated through the lunar expanse, summoning legions of celestial sentinels, warriors forged from starlight, tasked with retrieving the runaway spirit. "Go forth, my children of the night," Tsukuyomi commanded, her voice echoing like thunder. "Bring back the traitor, let her taste the sting of betrayal, and let her understand the price of freedom." As the sentinels poured forth from the moonlit gates, they descended like meteorites streaking across the sky. Warriors clad in shimmering armor, wielding swords of light, sought out Kaguya with relentless determination. Back in the earthly realm, Kaguya raced through the forest, her heart drumming a rhythm of hope and fear. She plunged deeper into the woods, where shadows loomed and nature thrived. It was there, in the heart of the ancient trees, that she stumbled upon a clearing illuminated by a glowing pond. The water shimmered, reflecting the starlit sky above, and Kaguya felt a powerful urge to approach it. She knelt beside the pond, her reflection staring back at her, glowing softly in the moonlight. As she reached out to touch the water, an ancient spirit rose from its depths, a guardian of the forest named Yum, a being of dreams and illusions. "Why do you seek the waters, child of the moon?" Yum asked, her voice a melodic whisper. "What fate do you wish to take?" "I seek freedom from my bonds, dear spirit," Kaguya replied, her voice trembling with emotion. "But the moon goddess pursues me, and I fear her wrath. I wish to embrace my destiny, but at what cost?" Yum studied Kaguya, her eyes holding 1,000 unanswered questions. "The path you tread is treacherous, young one. To escape the clutches of a goddess is to court danger. You must harness your true power." "I will do anything," Kaguya vowed, determination igniting within her heart. "I will not return to the Lunar Palace." "Then heed my words," Yum intoned. "You must seek the gem of eternal light, hidden in the caverns of shadow, a treasure that can shield you from Tsukuyomi's wrath. But know this, the journey will test your spirit, and darkness will rise to claim you." Kaguya nodded, her resolve stronger than ever. "I will face whatever trials await me. I will prove my worth, not just to myself, but to the world." Suddenly, the air thickened with foreboding. The sentinels of Tsukuyomi had descended upon the forest with a fury like a tempest. Their shimmering forms flared to life, surrounding Kaguya, eyes glowing like burning coals. Kaguya's heart raced, and she rose to her feet, ready to confront her fate. "I will not be taken back," she shouted defiantly, channeling the spirit of the forest into her voice. The sentinels advanced, their weapons drawn, but Kaguya summoned the will-o'-the-wisps, their luminescence swirling around her like a protective barrier. As the first sentinel lunged, she dodged, her movements swift and graceful. "Stand down, warriors of the moon," she shouted, her voice echoing through the trees. "I seek my own destiny." But the sentinels were relentless, and the clash of light and shadow erupted in the clearing. Each strike illuminated the darkness, painting a battle of cosmic proportions. Kaguya fought back, weaving through their ranks, her heart a tempest of fear and fierce determination. "Do not let her escape," commanded one sentinel, his voice piercing through the chaos. "She is a traitor." Kaguya's mind raced as she recalled Yum's words. "The gem of eternal light," she screamed, her voice cutting through the din. "I must find it." With one powerful leap, she broke through the encircling sentinels and sprinted into the depths of the forest, guided by the light of the will-o'-the-wisps. The sentinel shouts faded behind her, but she could feel their relentless pursuit, a shadow growing ever closer. As she delved deeper into the woods, Kaguya's spirit surged with the yearning for freedom. The path ahead was fraught with peril, but in her heart she carried the fire of destiny, a flame undying, an echo of hope amid despair. And thus, Kaguya's quest began, a journey not just to escape the moon goddess, but to reclaim her rightful place among the stars, to discover what it truly meant to be free. But unbeknownst to her, Tsukuyomi. Kaguya breaks free from the Lunar Palace. Part 2 ***. Beneath the ancient canopy of the forest, shadows danced as the last remnants of twilight surrendered to the grasp of night. Kaguya sprinted with the grace of a moonlit deer, the will-o'-the-wisp swirling around her, their light flickering like fireflies against the encroaching darkness. Each rustle of leaves echoed the thundering heartbeat of her fear, but her spirit surged, bolstered by the promise of freedom. "Find the gem of eternal light," she murmured, recalling the guardianess words. "It will shield me from Tsukuyomi's wrath." The urgency of her quest pulsed in her veins, propelling her forward. But the sentinels, relentless as the tide, followed in her wake, their glimmering forms weaving through the foliage like phantoms. Kaguya dashed deeper into the labyrinth of trees, her feet barely grazing the ground as if the earth itself was aiding her in her escape. Every branch and root became an ally, guiding her through the tangled underbrush. Yet she could feel the weight of destiny upon her, a destiny fraught with peril and sacrifice. "Where are you, gem?" she whispered, her voice barely rising above the whispers of the wind. "I will not be caged again." Her breath came in desperate gasps, and the world around her swirled in an intoxicating blend of fear and hope. Suddenly, she burst into a clearing, the moonlight spilling over her like a silken veil. In the center stood an ancient stone altar, carved with runes that pulsed with a soft, golden glow. Kaguya's heart leaped at the sight of flicker of the very treasure she sought. "Is this the gem of eternal light?" she wondered aloud, stepping cautiously toward the altar. As she reached out, a sudden tremor shook the ground beneath her feet. The air crackled with energy, and from the shadows emerged a creature of nightmares, a towering beast with obsidian scales and eyes glowing like molten silver. "The guardian of the gem," Kaguya breathed, her mind racing. The creature roared, a sound that sent shivers through the very fabric of the forest. I must face this trial if I am to claim my destiny. With deep resolve, Kaguya summoned her inner strength, feeling the ethereal whispers of the will-o'-the-wisps urging her on. She had faced the sentinels of the moon goddess, she could face this beast. I am Kaguya, daughter of the moon, and I will not be defeated, she declared, her voice ringing with defiance. The creature lunged, jaws snapping, but Kaguya rolled aside, narrowly escaping the lethal bite. She could feel the wind from its maw as it passed over her, and she sprang to her feet, heart racing. I will not fall today, she shouted, channeling the power of the forest spirits. With a swift motion, she conjured a barrier of light, a shimmering shield that glowed defiantly in the face of the beast's wrath. The guardian's claws scraped against the barrier, sending sparks of energy cascading into the night. Kaguya felt the surge of power coursing through her, a reminder of her own strength, a strength that had been dormant for so long. This is my moment, she roared, summoning the will-o'-the-wisps to form a swirling vortex around her. The light intensified, illuminating the clearing as Kaguya drew upon the energy of the gem, which pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat. I will triumph. The guardian charged again, but Kaguya stood firm, the barrier shimmering brighter than ever. As the beast collided with her shield, a shockwave rippled through the clearing, rattling trees and sending leaves spiraling into the sky. Kaguya felt the impact reverberate through her bones, but she held her ground, gritting her teeth against the force. Your power is no match for my will, she shouted, channeling all her energy into a single, focused blast of light. The radiant beam shot forth, colliding with the beast, enveloping it in a cocoon of brilliance. For a moment, the creature faltered, stunned by the ferocity of her spirit. Seizing the opportunity, Kaguya rushed toward the altar, where the gem of eternal light pulsated, beckoning her closer. With each step, she could feel the ancient magic coursing through the air, filling her with hope. She reached for the gem, fingers brushing its surface. Let this power shield me from the moon goddess, she cried. As her fingertips made contact, a surge of energy erupted, cascading through her like a tidal wave, illuminating the night. She felt the connection to the force deepen, resonating with the very essence of life. But the guardian, now enraged, shook off the light and lunged once more. Kaguya's heart raced as she crafted a new barrier, one infused with the power of the gem. You will not take what is mine, she declared, and the barrier fled brilliantly, a shield of light and magic entwined. The impact sent her sprawling, yet she quickly regained her footing, eyes locked on the beast. I am no longer a prisoner of the moon, she shouted, narrowing her gaze. The guardian advanced, but with a fierce shout, Kaguya summoned the will-o'-the-wisps to coalesce into a swirling tempest. Together, we will forge my path, she proclaimed, unleashing the combined power of the spirits and the gem. The light erupted, a blinding flash that engulfed the guardian. The creature roared in defiance as the radiant force pushed it back until it finally collapsed, vanquished by the will of a spirit reborn. Breathless and trembling, Kaguya stood amidst the stillness that followed, the world around her transforming. The guardian's form faded into the ether, leaving behind only a shimmering dust that danced in the air. She had triumphed, but the battle was not yet over. As she grasped the gem of eternal light, a familiar sensation swept over her. The cold gaze of Tsukuyomi was drawing near. The moon goddess had felt the disturbance, and Kaguya knew her time was short. I must return to the forest, she whispered to the will-o'-the-wisps who had gathered around her in joyous celebration, their light pulsing with her newfound strength. But before she could make her escape, the very air crackled with divine energy as Tsukuyomi materialized before her, cloaked in shadows and moonlight. Foolish child, the goddess thundered, her voice echoing through the clearing like a storm. You think you can defy me? You dare to take what is mine? Kaguya's heart raced, but she held the gem close, its warmth radiating through her. I am no longer yours to command, Tsukuyomi. I have found my strength. The moon goddess's silver eyes glinted with fury as she advanced, the very moonlight bending to her will. The ground trembled beneath Kaguya's feet, but she stood firm. I will not return to your prison, she declared, her voice steady despite the tempest of emotion swirling within her. Tsukuyomi's laughter rang hollow, a sound that sent shivers down Kaguya's spine. You are but a flicker in the vast expanse of my power. Return with me, or face the wrath of the moon. With a fierce determination, Kaguya raised the gem high above her head, calling forth the spirits of the night. You will not take me. I will forge my own destiny. The air crackled with energy, and the will-o'-the-wisp surged forth, swirling in a brilliant display of light. Tsukuyomi's fury ignited, and she unleashed a wave of moonlit energy toward Kaguya, who deflected it with the gem, its power amplifying her strength. The clash of celestial forces erupted in a dazzling display, illuminating the night as Kaguya stood resolute against the goddess's wrath. Your time of tyranny ends here. Kaguya shouted, summoning every ounce of courage within her. The gem blazed with radiant energy, and with a powerful thrust, she propelled the light towards Tsukuyomi, who recoiled, momentarily stunned by the sheer force of Kaguya's will. Yet the goddess was far from defeated. You have chosen your path, Kaguya, but know this, the consequences of defiance are steep. Tsukuyomi's voice dripped with malice as she summoned the full force of the lunar realm, the shadows converging into a storm. Kaguya felt the weight of her choice, but in her heart the fire of freedom burned brighter than any fear. I will face the storm, she declared, her voice unwavering. As the tempest of moonlight swirled around her, Kaguya embraced the will-o'-the-wisps, their luminescence intertwining with the gem. Together, we will forge a new dawn, she cried, and with a brilliant flash, the light erupted, engulfing her in a cocoon of pure energy. The clearing was alive with the clash of divine forces, Kaguya's spirit intertwining with the very essence of the universe. In that moment of transcendence, she felt her true power awaken. Kaguya breaks free from the Lunar Palace, Part 3 ***. As the light from the gem of eternal light surged around Kaguya, she felt the weight of destiny pressing upon her. The radiant energy coursed through her veins, a brilliant tapestry of hope and defiance. The clearing transformed into a battlefield of cosmic proportions, where the veils between realms shimmered and quaked as Tsukuyomi unleashed her wrath. You think you can defy the moon goddess? Tsukuyomi's voice boomed, echoing like thunder as tendrils of shadow spiraled around her, transforming her form into a tempest of silver fury. You are but a child of the night, lost in dreams. Kaguya stood firm, the gem illuminating her with blinding brilliance. I am no longer your captive. I will not be bound by your chains. Her heart surged with determination, fueled by the memories of the lives she had glimpsed from her balcony in the Lunar Palace. The laughter of children, the cries of warriors, the embrace of lovers all beckoned her to forge her own path. With a swift gesture, she directed the will-o'-the-wisps to weave protective barriers around her, spinning a web of light that crackled with magic. Come at me, Tsukuyomi, I will show you the strength of my spirit. The clearing erupted with energy, as the very fabric of the cosmos seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the impending clash. The moon goddess unleashed a torrent of moonlit projectiles, shards of light slicing through the air like arrows of fate. Kaguya dodged with the grace of a shooting star, leaping and twirling, each movement a defiance of her past. The projectiles exploded upon impact with the ground, sending shock waves of energy that rippled across the forest, uprooting trees and scattering leaves like lost hopes. Kaguya's heart raced as she focused her mind, channeling the essence of the gem. I will not falter, she shouted, and with a flourish of her hands, she directed the will-o'-the-wisps to retaliate. The spirits surged forward, creating a dazzling storm of light that intertwined with shards of moonlight, clashing in a spectacular display of brilliance. Fool! Tsukuyomi howled, her silver eyes narrowing as she conjured a wave of darkness. The shadows coalesced into a monstrous form, a fearsome creature born of lunar wrath, with gnashing teeth and eyes that glowed like dying stars. Face my midnight beast. The creature lunged at Kaguya, jaws snapping, but the spirit of the forest danced with her, weaving through its grasp. You will not take me. Kaguya shouted defiantly, summoning the gem's power to create a radiant shield. The midnight beast collided with her barrier, the force sending tremors through the earth, but Kaguya stood resolute, her spirit unyielding. Together, she commanded, channeling the energy of the will-o'-the-wisps. The spirits gathered, coalescing into a brilliant arc of light that enveloped her, forging a bond of strength between them. The air vibrated with magic, and Kaguya felt the essence of the forest surge through her, a river of life igniting her resolve. Now, she cried, thrusting her hands toward the beast. A torrent of light erupted from the gem, striking the creature head-on. The collision sent ripples of energy cascading through the clearing, illuminating the shadows of the forest. The midnight beast howled in agony, its form flickering and fading, unraveling like a dream at dawn. Yet Tsukuyomi, undeterred, summoned dark clouds that gathered above, swirling with tempestuous energy. You dare to challenge my dominion, she roared, her voice resonating through the very core of Kaguya's being. I shall show you the true power of the moon. With a wave of her hand, a storm of lunar energy erupted, and Kaguya found herself engulfed in shadow, the light dimming as the darkness threatened to consume her. Memories of her time in the Lunar Palace flooded her mind, the laughter, the music, the beauty marred by her confinement. The tears of frustration rolled down her cheeks as she fought against the encroaching despair. Remember who you are, the will-o'-the-wisps urged, their voices intertwining with her thoughts, igniting the embers of her spirit. You are Kaguya, you are free. With renewed vigor, Kaguya reached deep within herself, drawing upon the essence of the gem, feeling its warmth blaze brighter than ever. I am not your tool, Tsukuyomi. I am my own destiny, she declared, her voice a clarion call that pierced through the darkness. As she summoned the light once more, a radiant surge erupted, pushing back against the shadows, illuminating the clearing with blinding brilliance. The storm above quaked, and Tsukuyomi's rage twisted the fabric of reality. You will regret this, she snarled, her form shifting and twisting as she conjured a maelstrom of shadows, sending tendrils of darkness to ensnare Kaguya. But Kaguya was faster, drawing upon the will of the wisps. She launched herself into the heart of the tempest, fear and determination intertwining. I will not be caged again, she shouted, her voice carrying the weight of 1,000 lost dreams. With a gem blazing in her grasp, she wove through the tendrils, each leap a defiance against the moon goddess as well. She could feel the darkness clawing at her, but she persisted, fueled by every heartbeat. You are not my keeper, she screamed, spiraling upward into the storm, light bursting forth around her like a comet piercing the night. The luminosity surged, and in that moment Kaguya became a beacon, a radiant star illuminating the darkness. I choose my own path, she proclaimed, and with one final thrust of her energy, she unleashed a torrent of light that shattered the shadows. The clearing erupted in a cataclysm of cosmic energy, the force of her will colliding with Tsukuyomi's darkness in a glorious explosion that illuminated the heavens. The very fabric of reality shimmered, ruptured by the intensity of their clash. Kaguya felt her spirit entwined with the universe, a testament to her struggle, the essence of all that she had fought for coalescing in that singular moment. As the light spread, Tsukuyomi's form flickered as her power waned. You cannot escape me forever, she hissed, shadows retreating like whispers into the night. The moon will rise again. But Kaguya stood tall, the gem pulsing with newfound energy. The moon may rise, but I will rise with it. I will be the light that guides those who seek freedom. Her voice rang clear and pure, the final words of a spirit unbound. With a final burst, the light enveloped the clearing, and in that moment, Kaguya felt herself transcend, a bridge between worlds, a symbol of hope amid despair. As the darkness receded, the will-o'-the-wisps danced around her, their joy radiating through the night. The battle was won, but Kaguya knew her journey was far from over. The scars of her struggle would forever remain, a reminder of the price of freedom. Yet in her heart, she carried an ember of hope, a promise to defend the light against the encroaching darkness, to be a guardian of all those who yearn for liberation. As dawn broke on the horizon, the first rays of sunlight pierced through the trees, wrapping Kaguya in warmth. The forest awoke around her, a chorus of life celebrating her triumph. You have done it, the will-o'-the-wisps cheered, their laughter a melody of freedom. And as she stood amidst the dawn, Kaguya knew this was just the beginning. She had woven her destiny anew, a spirit born of moonlight and starlight, a beacon of hope to guide others through the shadows. With the gem of eternal light in her grasp, she looked up at the sky, where Tsukuyomi's silver form lingered like a fading dream. I will honor the moon, Tsukuyomi, but I will do it on my own terms, Kaguya vowed to the winds, a promise echoing through the ages. For she had broken free from her chains, and now, the world awaited the story of a spirit reborn, a legend that would shine brightly for all eternity. Kaguya breaks free from the Lunar Palace. Part 4 ***. As dawn's first light spilled across the horizon, Kaguya stood poised on the precipice of adventure, the gem of eternal light pulsating in her grasp. The forest, alive with the symphony of awakening creatures, embraced her in the warmth of newfound freedom. But the earth thrummed with the remnants of her battle, the shadows of Tsukuyomi still lurking at the edges of her consciousness. I will not falter, Kaguya whispered to the morning breeze, drawing strength from the spirits that had aided her. The will-o'-the-wisps circled around her, their joyous glow a reminder that she was not alone. Yet the moon hung heavy in the sky, a silent witness to the unfolding drama of her destiny. With resolve igniting her spirit, Kaguya set forth into the depths of the forest, guided by the whispers of the will-o'-the-wisps. Their luminescence illuminated the path ahead, revealing ancient trees with gnarled roots that twisted like the hands of time. Each step felt like a leap of faith into the unknown, her heart pounding with the promise of adventure. But the tranquility was fleeting. The ground trembled beneath her feet as a shadow loomed over the clearing. From the thicket emerged a hulking creature, an enormous boar with obsidian tusks that gleamed with malice, its eyes burning like embers in the twilight. You dare to wander without fear, child of the moon, it bellowed, its voice a low rumble that reverberated through the trees. Kaguya steeled herself, raising the gem high. I am no longer a prisoner. I will not retreat. A surge of light burst from the gem, casting an ethereal glow that pushed back the encroaching shadows. The beast snarled, charging forward with a ferocity that shook the very earth. Foolish girl, it roared, closing in with blinding speed. Kaguya sidestepped her instinct sharp as she summoned the will-o'-the-wisps to encircle her, their light forming a protective barrier. The boar's tusks crashed against the barrier, sending a shockwave that rattled her bones, but she stood firm. Your strength is commendable, but fuel, the beast taunted, circling her like a predator. I am a guardian of this realm, and you shall not pass. Kaguya's heart raced, and with a fierce shout, she summoned all the spirits of the forest to amplify her power. I will not be cowed. Spirits of the night, lend me your courage. The will-o'-the-wisps flared to life, weaving light into a dazzling web around her. Summoning her energy, she launched a beam of brilliance toward the beast. It collided with the boar's side, illuminating the clearing as it staggered back, momentarily stunned. This is my destiny. Kaguya yelled, her heart surging with hope and fury. With relentless determination, she charged. Weaving through the shadows, her movements fluid and graceful. But the boar recovered quickly, shaking its massive head. You think a flicker of light can conquer darkness? It bellowed, lunging once more. Kaguya ducked and rolled, narrowly avoiding its tusks. The forest echoed with the sound of their battle, nature itself holding its breath. Kaguya sprang to her feet, her heart pounding. You underestimate the power of light, she cried as she crafted another barrier of energy, channeling the gem's brilliance through her very being. The barrier shimmered, refracting the sunlight, casting rainbows in every direction. The boar charged again, but this time Kaguya stood her ground. Now, she shouted, thrusting her hands forward. The barrier exploded outward in a wave of light, colliding with the beast and sending it sprawling into the underbrush. The air crackled with energy, and the forest erupted in a chorus of life, cheering her victory. Stand down, creature, Kaguya declared, her voice ringing with authority. I seek only to find my path. The boar, wounded but not defeated, glared at her, eyes filled with a mix of respect and resentment. Very well, child, it replied, panting heavily. You have proven your strength, but know this darkness does not rest. Tsukumi's wrath will find you, and it will be relentless. Kaguya nodded, understanding the gravity of its words. I will face whatever comes. I am free now, and I will embrace my destiny. With that, she turned away, her spirit alight with renewed determination. As she ventured deeper into the forest, the shadows shifted around her, and the air grew thick with anticipation. Kaguya could sense that the darkness was not far behind. The ground beneath her feet trembled, and she felt the heartbeat of the earth, an echo of the battles fought for freedom and honor. Suddenly, a chilling laughter echoed through the trees, sending shivers down her spine. Kaguya, you think you can escape your fate? The voice was a melodic whisper, yet it carried the weight of 1,000 storms. Kaguya spun around, her heart racing. From the darkness emerged a figure cloaked in shadows, an avatar of Tsukuyomi, her form shifting and swelling like a tempest. You have defied me, insolent child, it hissed, its eyes glowing with a malevolent light. The price of freedom is steep. I will face any price. Kaguya shouted defiantly, raising the gem high, its light piercing through the veil of darkness. I will not be shackled again. The avatar laughed, an echoing sound that filled the air with dread. Then prepare yourself. With a wave of its hand, it summoned a swarm of shadowy tendrils, slithering through the air like serpents. You will know despair. Kaguya felt the cold grip of fear but steeled herself. The light will prevail, she declared, channeling every ounce of courage into her voice. The will-o'-the-wisp surged around her, their radiance a beacon against the encroaching shadows. As the tendrils lunged, Kaguya spun, narrowly evading their grasp. You cannot bind me, she cried, unleashing a torrent of light that sliced through the darkness. The first tendril disintegrated, but more surged forward, relentless in their pursuit. The despair is all you will know, the avatar taunted, summoning more tendrils as the shadows thickened around her. Kaguya fought back, weaving her light into an intricate dance, deflecting the shadows with each radiant burst. I will forge my own path, she roared, channeling the power of the gem once more, sending a wave of brilliance that illuminated the surrounding trees. The shadows shrieked, recoiling from the light as she pressed on, determination surging through her veins. The avatar, momentarily stunned, glared at her with fury. You think you can withstand my darkness forever? It bellowed, gathering its strength for a final assault. Foolish child. But Kaguya felt the pulse of the forest around her, the spirits of the night rallying behind her. I am not alone, she declared, her voice ringing clear and strong. Together, we will banish the darkness. With a final surge of energy, she summoned the full power of the gem, the light intertwining with the will-o'-the-wisps, creating a brilliant vortex that enveloped her. This is for all who seek freedom, she cried, launching herself into the heart of the storm. The light erupted forth, a dazzling explosion that pierced through the veil of shadows, illuminating the entire forest. The avatar's form shattered, tendrils dissipating into the ether as it let out a deafening roar. "You may have won this battle, Kaguya," it screamed, fading into the void. But the war is far from over. As the echoes of the battle faded, Kaguya stood amidst the stillness, breathing heavily. The forest around her shimmered with renewed life, the spirits of the night dancing in celebration. "You did it," the will-o'-the-wisps cheered, their voices intertwining with the gentle rustle of leaves. Yet Kaguya knew that the shadows would return. The battle with Tsukuyomi was only the beginning. With a glance at the rising sun, she felt the warmth on her skin, a promise of hope and resilience. "I will prepare," she murmured, determination igniting within her. The light must be guarded. As she ventured deeper into the forest, Kaguya felt the weight of her choices, each step a testament to her journey. She would seek allies, warriors who understood the cost of freedom, and together they would forge a new dawn against the encroaching darkness. The world awaited her story, a tale of a spirit reborn, a legend that would rise among the stars. And as she looked up, the moon hung high in the sky, a reminder of both her past and her future. Kaguya had broken free, and now, with the gem of eternal light in hand, she would shine as a beacon of hope, guiding others through the shadows. Her journey was just beginning, and she would embrace every challenge, for freedom was worth